Alright, we got some work to do on the RX-7 today. We're gonna start changing things up a little bit. Alright, so I picked up this. How the fuck did I grab this thing? So picked up this new radiator we're gonna throw in the car. It's just an eBay one. It was 180 bucks. It came with the fan and shroud and everything. Probably not gonna use the fan. I expect it to be pretty shitty. But the shroud looks like it should be pretty good. Should get the job done. And it is probably like 16 times the size of the one that's in the car. Quick side note, if you guys haven't clicked that bell yet, make sure to do that so you don't miss any future videos. Anyway, this is for like a 60 to 65 Ford, Falcon, Mustang, Ranchero, all that kind of crap. And today we're going to hopefully get it thrown in the car. I don't know how long it's gonna take because I'm gonna have to do a little bit of cutting and fab work, I think. And we're probably going to have it at some stupid angle. Might put it like this. I don't know. Not really sure what to expect. But I do know that this radiator keeps a lot of turbo LS V8s cool. So that's what we're gonna do. Hopefully this is the cure-all that we need. Looks pretty good. Just have to get everything that's in the car out of there now and get it out of the way so we're starting fresh. So let's get the car on the hoist and start pulling it apart. All right, got everything out of the car. I'm gonna end up using that box as like a don't really want things hanging below that sort of reference. So I'll just set the new radiator on that box and try and get it all mocked up. You can see the old radiator versus the new one. Set it like that. It is a dinky little feller. Much bigger ports on it too. These are 1 inch, those are I think 1.5. And here's the intercooler that I had on the car. It's bigger than I remember honestly, but it's only rated for 550 horsepower. So I think it's starting to get pretty restrictive. Plus these sharp 90s in and out of it aren't helping. So there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 basically 90s on the intercooler piping. So that restricts flow a lot more than you would think too. Here you can see the front frame brace that I might end up taking out, but yeah, I'm not sure which way I'm gonna lean the radiator, if I can tilt it back towards the engine or if I need to tilt it like this. But I know even with the smaller one, there was not enough room to fit the radiator in front of it, so I had to move it back here. So I think if I cut that out, I can put the bottom closer to the engine and then tilt it back up into here a little bit more. Not really sure, but if I do that, I can set it down a little bit lower too, because it won't be hanging like way out like this. It'll be tucked in there a little bit more. So it'll still rob a little bit of ground clearance if I do that, but it won't look stupid. We'll just have to see. Gonna play it by ear on that. Also, we're gonna be saving a lot of weight off the nose. This thing's honestly probably pretty close to 30 pounds, right at the front of the car. Ouch. Probably cut that one, but should have enough room to run this up under here. We'll see. I might end up cutting this out to like this lip too, if I need to, but it's all hollow under here. It's just the skin. So as long as I have these outer ones in place, it should keep this from doing anything stupid. I think I'm just gonna send it and cut this off anyway to free up some room, because I can just weld a bar or a brace across up here. Actually, I could make a bolt-in brace from right here where the intercooler was bolted in. And then, like I said, that'll free up a ton of room. I think we have a setup that might work. There we go. We got tons of room up here now, and it is leaned forward pretty far. It's on like a 40-degree angle. I think I was going to take this fan off and replace it, but I think what I'm going to do is run that fan and the derail fan as a pusher on the other side to help with airflow that little bit much more. You get it. And it looks like the inlets and outlets should work. That one I'll probably just put like a 45 silicone coupler and then go straight into the upper. That one I'll probably have a 45 coming this way and then a 90 up into the lower port on the water pump. Should work pretty well. And then also with it not having the intercooler in front, restricting airflow that little bit, because that's like I think a 3-inch or 3.5 inch. Watch, this is where I find out that it's only like a 2-inch. Yeah, so that's a 3.5-inch core. So that was blocking a lot of airflow that we're going to free up here. And now, honestly, if I wanted, I've got plenty of room for an air-to-water intercooler like, because those can be super small and still super efficient. There's plenty of room to put one where this just goes right into the bottom and then the top comes into the intake there. So that is pretty cool. That header wrap down there took a beating. It's not from the dump pipe. It's from having the hook to strap it down on the trailer right there, and it would rub through, and over there it rubbed through and it started to unravel. So it's not from the dump pipe. So just need to get that mounted, get the hoses made, which honestly I might be able to find actual rubber hoses to go on there. I don't know if I will, but I think I'll probably end up just getting the silicone like 45s and 90s, and then just like 1.5 inch aluminum piping, because before I was using some steel just because I didn't have much experience welding aluminum at the time, and they got the job done. And then for the fill, I want to, like, an external tank to fill everything through that. I might be able to put it up over there actually, so that it's the highest point, and it'll maybe over here, like the stock Silverados and stuff have, how you don't fill them through the radiator, you fill them through the tank. So I think that's probably what we'll do. And then from there I just have to make some new intake piping from the turbo to the intake, because we're going to, for now, bypass and not have any intercooler or anything like that. That is not a long-term solution. I do eventually want to put air to water on it, but I think what I'm probably going to do for that is give up on keeping everything under the hood. I'll get like a Holley, probably mid-ram, because the low ram you can't fit the wiring and everything under, and I don't like to see wire. I mean, I haven't cleaned this up, but I don't like to see a bunch of spaghetti wiring. Like, this whole fender breaks my heart. So I'll probably get like a mid-ram so I can run stuff under it. It's still not as tall as the high ram. I think it's like an inch shorter maybe. And I think the low ram is like 2 inches shorter, or 3. And then I'll get the probably Tick Performance like sandwich intercooler for that, and we'll go straight into the intake. And then we'll put like a Sunoco scoop on the hood or something. But that's all long-term goals. That's not happening anytime soon. Just that Tick intercooler is like $1,400 bucks. All right, so now that we figured out where we actually want to mount it, we have to make the mount. So to do that, I've got this 3/8 half round, which basically just means one side of it is flat. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna start off with just making some tabs, and I'll probably bolt it here, and somewhere else down here I might drill and bolt it there, not sure. There's a spot over here on the frame I could go to, and I'll just cut it and bend it so that it comes off that, runs next to the radiator, and then goes to the other mount. And then to help support the weight of it, because this will probably get pretty heavy once there's water and everything in it, I'll run a support from like here or so up to this bolt to kind of help hold it up. And I'll do the same thing on this side, but it'll probably be just straight like that. This side probably won't need the support, honestly, because it'll be so close to it. There won't be a whole lot of flex. Might be able to run it to here, not sure. We'll see. I'm gonna start cutting up the tabs for everything, and then after that I'll get the 3/8 bent up and cut and everything. got the radiator all mounted up. You can see I got this bracket over here. Just finished making this one over here. And this thing's mounted solid enough for me to probably shake the car off the hoist. Oh yeah, I bet I could. I thought I was gonna have to make like a triangulation bracket from this up, but because I ended up running the bottom side way up here instead of to the bottom of the frame, it ended up being pretty darn good. And then this one I just got coming down and then to the bottom of the frame there just because there was a little mount. And I think it worked out pretty well. So the radiator's tucked in there real nice. It is getting all the airflow. Yeah, so now I just need to, I've got some pieces ordered to make some radiator hoses. Let me drop the car down real quick. So yeah, I've got some pieces ordered to make the radiator hoses. I still have to reroute this wiring because this is just for the headlight and running light and everything and the pop-up motor. I'll probably just do something like that. I don't know, it's not real crucial. So I know that this one's gonna be basically straight into it because I got a 90 and a 45, and then I'm just going to connect it with a little piece of aluminum. This one's going to come basically straight out, so I'm going to have to kind of bring this out here and up. Maybe I might be able to bring it like that just because this one's in kind of a dumb spot. I could probably just get another thermostat housing on an angle and go basically straight into it, but I don't have one and I didn't think about it and I already ordered the pieces. I'm gonna set this here for like kind of mock up. I'm gonna use that as kind of mock up for making the cold side piping, so that it'll be about there. I know if it clears this, it'll clear the other thing, because the other thing should be a lot tighter, because it's gonna be a 90 right off that. Honestly, the rad mount turned out pretty good, I think. Probably end up reusing this, and I got a feeling, because I'm certainly not. It'd be way too convenient if I could just go up and over. Actually, could I? Oh shit, could I? That might clear. I might have to notch this hood bracket, but that might end up being up here more. Shit, dog, I might try that. You know, honestly, I think it'll work. Just enough room underneath this for the coolant pipe. I think I might just pie cut that and try to make a little piece that fits really good. Because there's like 3 different angles. So I think I'm just gonna have to pie cut a piece because it's gotta go down, curve over, curve back, curve up, and then back like this to go straight into that, because I would like this to be rotated up a little bit more, but that's basically what it's going to look like, just with a lot of welds here. Because I think it'll probably be like probably 4 pie cuts. I think I'll probably just do like 7.5, maybe 10-degree cuts. Not really sure. I'm going to keep messing with that though, but for the most part this is what it's going to look like for the rest of this year, I think. Alright, so I ended up just knocking out the charge pipe, and it turned out pretty decent. There's some really hideous welds in there, but did end up using 4 pie cuts, and it's lined up perfectly. There's plenty of room for the radiator pipe. I just need to wait for my new flange for the blow-off valve to show up, and I'll probably put that right here. The thing that's frustrating about welding is that it seems like always, no matter what you do, the crappiest spots are always right where people are gonna look. All that looks good. All that looks good. Right there, right through here. all that sucks. But that's all right, as long as it gets the job done. So now I do actually have to stop and wait for parts to show up. But yeah, man, I'm pretty stoked. Radiator's mounted. Just have to wire the fan up, and I am going to wire it up to a relay this time, don't worry. All right, and then just to be sure of everything, just sat the hood on to make sure everything's gonna clear. You can see there's like an inch of clearance everywhere. I got the blow off valve taped where it's gonna be. So we're good, dude. We got plenty of clearance, Clarence. So I think that's where we're gonna end this video. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for subscribing and clicking that bell. We'll see you in the next one.